Pinebrook Cemetery in Tinton Falls, tucked amid subdivisions in the woods near an old Lenape burial ground, the resting place for generations of local African Americans who couldn't be buried in local white cemeteries.
You are now listening to the sound of the beat dealer.
You know all these people. You know all these people. Yeah. Like, that Johnson, these people, like you're gonna all these names, you're gonna know all these people. You're gonna know the kids. Just like you know me.
Just ashore, let me adjust the score, make things right. This land of ours is our birthright. I shed light where the sun don't shine.
This ain't the I don't think this the main part that they tore up. Paul Humus. So you know who that is, right? You know who the Paul Humus is? Mm-hmm. But you know who they are in our neighborhood. Yeah. Okay. Wire. Soul controller, the lies they told us can't hold us. A scholar and a soldier is what you are. Shoot for the stars, got proof this is ours. Joseph Johnson. The scars, the world is yours. The world is yours. My family, my tribe, we rocks, we survive. We still here, won't die. We alive, head up high. So you got the Johnsons over here. Hazel, I think that's my grandmother there. Kyle, this our grandmother, Hazel? This Hazel over here? Huh? Oh. Yeah, we'll rock. I know Hazel. We still here, not going nowhere. Stand on our square, our family's a circle. Raised by the river, the tribe is turtle. Yep. World War II, Civil War. We get better. Let's get it together. Can't live without each other. I got your back. I know you got mine. No time for slack. Get in line. That's a fact. If they try to attack, we counter-react. Make a pact with progress, build our nation up. It's part of the process. It starts with the conscious to overcome hatred. Know your origin and how your ancestors made it. My family, my tribe, we rocks, we survive. We still here, won't die. We alive, head up high. So it's probably all new stuff. Head up high, put your wings up and fly. My family's my tribe, we rocks, we survive. We still here, won't die. We alive, head up high, put your wings up and fly. Head up high, put your wings up and fly. There they go, really.
Okay, well, I will definitely call you when we finished, okay? You. That was Mr. Lenape King on the phone. All my family, but all of y'all ancestors and the stuff they did, oh no, you the king already. You need to put your crown on, honey. I went back with y'all all the way to the beginning of, what is that? The university in Petersburg, Richmond. Petersburg, Virginia. What is it? Virginia Union, is it?
Yeah, Virginia Union.
Oh God, we got one that's a professor there. His last name Carney, but he come from y'all side of the family. He's amazing. Yes, honey. His daughter graduated from there. He was the first black graduate from it in 19-something when they first started in there. Yeah. Look, ain't this terrible? Oh, have you been back here yet?
No, we just got here.
Well, honey, put your hat on and close your eyes. This is terrible. And he got pissed because when I came over here, realizing that these are, look, this Richard Reeve right here. He got the Masonic thing over here. Look, when you go all the way up in the front and you see Francis the Heart and all of that, that's my grandma Cynthia's grandmother. So her daughter, Margaret, married Sam Skank, and that's where the Skank came from on our side of the family. But they all out here on both sides. It's terrible. That's Richard H. Reeve right there in the middle, the big tombstone. And their Ebenezer had a big tombstone back here and it's gone. I got pictures of all of it, it's gone. I remember seeing that stuff when I was little. Half of them is gone. Right, hi, how are you?
Hey, how you doing? Yes, sir.
I'm Bobby Grant.
So one of the Reeves is Shinnecock.
Right here. Yeah, well, cause now you're gonna start seeing what he did. No, don't look back if you look forward. This is what used to be here with the trees. These are our graveyards. Now turn around and look what this animal did. All of these are freaking bodies going all the way back there and over there.
These three rows are all
These are all new.
They were out here burying
last May. They've been going nonstop since before May of last year.
Yes.
I took them all and I sent them to the attorney.
If you could see how they were
With the
calling me.
dumpster?
Yes, remember the dumpster? The neighbors told me every day that they were out here. And it took me
All of these are new?
the day before you were here, the little lady me at 56 years old. I just stood there and I said, you know what? As long as she makes them stop while I'm here, because I have a right to privacy. But you know for a fact, all of this stuff over there is gone from when we were here the other day, because the neighbors kept saying, here we come out here, we go into this place. I said, that's not what the judge said, and we're gonna go from there. But this is horrible, cousin. This was all woods. All of this was nothing but woods. There was no trees down except for right
I was
there.
here last May, twice, 2
And
Saturdays
it was
in a row.
woods.
Well, they had like 2 rows.
2 rows of graves
Not
right
even
here.
two, not even
Right.
2 rows. The furthest one closest to the tree.
Right.
And that
By
was,
the
and
orange
that was-
pole right there.
So all these are new.
by the
All
trees
of
down.
this, cousin.
Everything beyond they really only had like 1.5 rows.
And
All
look.
these rows are brand new.
Right. Yes, look. And this lady here, she's one of your council ladies. She was here at the meeting. That's the lady that had the pink shirt on. She was out here with us last Sunday. See this right here? None of this was here. He just put these bodies here. He just did this.
But last May,
He
from
had
one
2
row along
rows.
the trees and
Cousin, look.
one other one. That was it.
Sanchez? Who the
What,
fuck
no,
are
what
these?
they're doing, they're doing pauper burials.
Right.
They're doing pauper
But
burials.
listen, do you know he have a company called Death Care Services?
Oh, I don't know what
Okay,
this
well
guy's
listen,
up to.
no. This is what we're trying to find out. What do you do at Death Care Services? Do you go get bodies? Do you get
All
body
these
parts?
bodies
What the hell are you doing? And
are
where the bodies
people
coming
from
That's-
who
that's
knows
it.
where they just got put in here within the past. How many?
Well, I was here last May, 2 Saturdays in a row.
Cousin, we got pictures I can show you from last May
we
to
cleaned
now.
up the Pinebrook Cemetery.
Yeah.
3 weeks in a row.
Cousin, all of this property is ours. They try to say that that's owned by Earl. That's owned by us too. Because when our cousin got the cease and desist to keep our other cousins, Carla and them, off
Yeah.
this property, it was for all of the property. Because all of this belongs to my great grandmother. That was given to her by John H. Rock. Now what he's doing is, see, his plan was he was supposed to shape this off so our family could have their own plots. And then he thought he was going to come out here in these woods and take this shit and do whatever he wants. He want to put an office back there. He wants to put a crematorium back there.
Videos when I was here last
Yes.
May.
Cousin, wait till you see all the pictures. That's what this whole thing is. This man wants to dig up these bodies after 5 years, burn the bones so he could use the space all
I
over
think I
again.
took videos or photos when I was here last
Yeah, I
May.
got plenty. Yes.
Oh,
Show 'em.
I'll
Show
give you
'em
my
now.
card. I might have them on my computer
Yeah.
and not
But
my...
if you've seen the case, my name is Carrie Jones. I'm the one that stood up at the city
I-
council that night and got all of these crazy.
Well,
Look,
I
here they come.
traveled 35 miles to come
Oh,
here,
come
so-
on, 35 miles. Mr. Bobby. I got you, Mr. Bobby. I ain't
Listen,
gonna
the
forget
only
you.
thing on the card that's not good is the last line. I don't have
Okay.
that website anymore.
Okay, well, Mr. Bobby, listen. How about if I
You can
From what
contact
we
me.
understand,
Right,
they're
but
like
I'm gonna email
COVID,
you and I'm
New
gonna
York.
send
They're
you
coming
stuff.
from New
I'll
York.
call you now.
So these are probably COVID victims,
I've been back.
and he's getting paid to bury them.
Right.
I was out here. It was 53 years ago in 1970.
yes.
I've been coming out here since 1970.
Oh, come on, Mr. Bobby. Well, I appreciate your help. Thank you so much. What's going on, buddy? How you doing? Oh, God, we doing okay. We doing okay. Look, this is...
Okay, okay.
Hi.
All right.
We are very upset. We are upset about all the disrespect. It's like being shot every day to hear chainsaws. There's many trees that have been put down, cut back. All the trees, all the toxic environment that's being developed, and people's souls have been reshoveled, and they're putting like mulch, other people on top of other people here. We're very upset about this. This should not be, this belonged to people. This belonged to this man, to other people.
So when did you first notice these things happening?
Well, this is been going on for years. But to this extent, obviously few weeks ago, because the chainsaws, you see, show the trees there.
Yeah.
There
So
was hundreds of trees here.
I actually live right over there. So my property, when I first moved here, which is a year ago, there were a handful of graves going along the back over there. And when I first got here, I thought it was cool because, believe it or not, this is your family. Most of the graves out here are veterans. Mm-hmm. That's one thing that struck me right away. If you go along the back over there, a couple of those are veterans. That stone over there looks like it's been moved or something because that was in the ground before. So, I thought, having some veterans near me back here would be cool. But then all of a sudden, they started cutting trees down like crazy and putting row in after row. And the one thing that struck me was, I don't know what the deal is, but when they buried people back here, I never saw a minister or a priest or a rabbi or anybody. They just put them right in the ground in pine boxes. Would you know, about a year or so, that pine box is going to be gone. Mm-hmm. And some of them are back here, some of them are caved in back over there. And I just like, you know, the rules for cemeteries that happen to look it up on the internet say you've got to have a designated area with a listed number of plots that you're going to have in your cemetery before you can dig the first grave.
Yeah.
Now this looks like an infinite number of plots
Yeah.
with no designation for anything, and they're just going to put as many bodies back here as they can. And they're actually, I mean, they don't own the land as far as I know.
No, they don't.
And they're selling the land 6 foot by 2 foot at a time. It's supposed to be a wetland, you know, designated wetland area. So, I mean, how can you chop so many trees down? If you look at Google Maps from like last year, you'll see this little area and woods. Now it's all open.
Yeah.
If you go on Google, you'll see that they've done the same thing everywhere they go.
So as a resident, so you say you've been here a year.
Yeah.
And you noticed it as soon as you moved in?
Well, I noticed when I first moved in, there was not that many graves here. But
Yeah.
the number that it's increased to 1 year is amazing.
Yeah, a normal cemetery wouldn't.
Well, there's a normal cemetery is supposed to have a path between each row.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to maintain the path so that you can walk up and down between the rows.
Yeah.
This is a million times more organized than it was a week ago.
Okay.
Believe it or not. I guess after the town meeting, they came in and raked things up and cleaned things up. But I mean, they took the stumps and stuff and threw them on my property over there.
Mm-hmm. And I could probably half these names are not even real names.
Well, you know, when I came back here a couple times when they first done, they'd just drive over this stuff and there'd be a pile of these cards. So who knows where they put them back?
We found out about it in early of January this year. Carrie also was at the council meeting, and that's how we met Carrie, and were able to end up supporting her with all her efforts. And so we put in a letter and a demand for restraints. So we put in a case against him for all the things he's done, and asked for restraints so he has to stop doing what he's doing right now. The judge ruled in the beginning, at the end of this week, he said he'd hear the case in March 3rd, but that he wasn't going to issue restraints. So our lawyer went back and did a follow-up letter to him on Friday, and the borough has sent a letter to the judge as well, saying that they want restraints as well. Okay. So we're waiting for that to come out on Monday.
All right, so the borough has signed off on it.
So the borough is also supporting this and trying to, now that they understand it, right? Because they didn't understand, no one had explained to them what the issues were, that this guy had come in, that he was doing things illegally, that he grabbed land essentially, and just started with his operations here without having any rights to it. So we'll see. We're hoping to get to restraints, and then we're hoping to get a lot of get everything ruled in our favor for Carrie and for the families. And if that happens, then we have to see, well, what do your families, what do you want done? Yeah. How do we fix this? I mean, you can look at this is devastating, right?
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of what they've done. So how do we fix this? And hopefully he gets punished. And I think, quite frankly, a lot of the stuff he did is criminal. And so we're trying to get awareness at the state and even the federal level now with that. So Carrie's been in touch with the Urban League, with Senator Booker's office, with the NAACP, and so they're all on board, and we're trying to get things organized. So from our side, it's Sean Burns is our lawyer. He's representing us, he's the central point of contact for everything. So media, anyone that wants to know anything, he'd be the one that would be able to point you stuff. He has a lot of the information, a lot of the data from Carrie. And so he's the one that would know what's going on, especially from a legal standpoint, and what the next steps are.
And so I can get his information?
Sean Burns, oh yes. So let me go introduce you.
Okay.
Just in terms of procedurally where we are, just so everybody knows, we filed on Tuesday morning a complaint in the Chancery Court in Monmouth County. The Chancery Court is the court where you go if you want to stop someone from doing something. There had been a prior lawsuit, a lot of you are familiar with, that it started in 2020 and ended in 2022. That was in a different courthouse. That was in the law division. That was a fight over who really controls operation of the cemetery. It was never really decided by the court. It was agreed by the parties involved to try to resolve it. We don't really think that was a valid end of that case. We filed this new case. The verified complaint that we filed at first asks that the judge immediately stop. The judge, unfortunately, entered an order on Thursday, I think it was, where he set a hearing date for March 3rd, but he did not do what we had asked, which was to impose immediate restraints on any activity here. We didn't just sit and take that. We prepared another letter, worked on it Thursday night and Friday, and submitted it yesterday Friday, to the judge, basically saying, look, we filed this Tuesday. We've learned even more since Tuesday. We want to make you aware of that. I had a conversation with the soil conservation people. They were here with some of your council people this week on Wednesday. Looked around. This area, they said, is about 12,000 square feet. You're not supposed to disturb soil unless in excess of 5,000 square feet without a permit. They don't have a permit. I was told they tried to get an exemption, did not get it, still went ahead and did what they did. So now they've got to apply to get a permit. They got 2 weeks to do that. And before I forget, I just want to shout out to Carrie back there, who has been instrumental in providing me information, along with some of the neighbors here, including Gary and Mike and Vince and Scott, enabled me to come up to speed quickly because they've done a good job of gathering information. So we've resubmitted, and your borough attorney, Kevin Sharkey, sent another letter yesterday, Saturday, to the court, joining basically and supporting our application. And the good thing he did that I had not done, he focused on how you get back here. To a great extent, his letter says, hey, Judge, if they're really going to do what they're talking about here, add hundreds, perhaps thousands of graves here, this becomes a thoroughfare that is not really ready for prime time. This dirt road is never intended to be used that way.
And we get the runoff from it.
Right, so there's a whole, and he's doing it without any, normally if this was private property and you wanted to develop it, you'd go to your planning board and they would put you through the ringers, as they should, to make sure you're not disturbing any of the properties around here, you're not doing anything that is against the law, violates the ordinances. Obviously, what's happening here is disturbing. This has been a resting place for folks, if I may say, folks who had at times a very difficult journey to get to where they were here, and maybe do a little more respect than just anybody else who might be in a place resting as they are. And it's that part of it is being ignored. I learned today from Norris, who's part of the Lenape Nation, at least, what's the correct, you're in the...
We're Sandhill.
Sandhill Lenape. Educating me about the long history of the Rock family, the connection to the Lenape. So beyond the significance of this place for the African American community, is this Lenape connection that goes back even further.
Pinebrook Cemetery in Tin Falls, tucked amid subdivisions in the woods near an old Lenape burial ground.
It was over there in between the woods. I have pictures before and after.
Is that where there's stone that's basically raised?
It's where the mulch is. The mulch is right now between those two trees.
But she has all the photos of this on her phone.
Okay.
But this is where she says it was.
Without being respectful, they got tire tracks through my sister's grave that just came since the last time I was out here. Like, this man blatantly doesn't care. And then let's talk about egress and ingress. I'm supposed to have a clear path to and from the grave. Does that look like a clear path to anybody out here? My aunt got to step over plastic tarps or whatever this fence or whatever this mess is. This man is a disgrace, and he should be ashamed of himself. So all of those accolades they give him, I just want to chop them down one by one and say, I don't know what kind of experience you had, but this is the experience my family had with him.
So can I just confirm?
Yes.
The rings are over here.
Right, the rings were right here, and these two circles where the stuff is missing.
You can record from your phone the picture?
They were right here, and they were right there. They were right in between these trees. Right here and right here. And right here where we're standing at were the other markers. There were 6 of the stones here, and there were 6 sets of stones there, and then there were more, and there were more going over to the tree. And it just looks like he just came and scooped it all and just shoved it over. But the funny thing is we see no rings. We see the rocks, but where are the rings at?
Yeah, he probably took that.
And he knows a lot about the Lenape stuff because, he even knew when he had a picture of Cassie Mae Richardson. That's why I was so engulfed on finding out who she was, because I said, who is this lady? Because the little girl in the picture looked like my grandmother when she was little, because it looked like me and my mother. So he took it and he hurried up and he shuffled it off. Well, I have a picture of Cassie Mae and her husband Leroy now. Thanks to him. I'm telling you, every time this man did something to try to stop me, or I came across something I didn't know and he knew I didn't know, I had to go find out. I had to go find out. And I'm so glad that every night I stayed up, every hour, every second was so worth it, because now everybody is going to know the truth about this man. Everybody. And he's just a disgrace. I didn't even see all of that stuff right there.
Yeah, I'm about to walk over there.
See,
now.
all of that just happened since last week too. And he got different markers, because wasn't the markers before so little? They looked like hors d'oeuvre tops. You couldn't even tell that what the name was on it. That's how small it was. Some of them only had dates on it. That's how little it was. And I complained to the board of cemeteries about that. Then he turned around and got all these big markers. But trust me, he got 4 and 5 bodies. When you see the little grave go up and hump like that, those over there on that hill was never like that. That was flat ground. That's because he got 4 and 5 bodies on top of each other.
Lifelong friend, you've known me all our lives. You probably know a lot of the people that are here. What does this do? How does this make you feel, bro?
Speechless. Almost in tears. My heart is heavy right now. Just growing up with friends and family, knowing that it's their family, their land. Bro, it's speechless. Just unconscionably speechless. Like I can't even. Bulldozer right there. These are days old. Days. It rained heavy last week. These are days old. All these are days old. It's heavy, bro. Like it's.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
Never. Never.
And this guy went to Monmouth Regional. He's like 56, 57. He went to Monmouth Regional.
When he's doing this?
Yeah. He's a few years older than us. It's insane. It's insane.
You are now listening to the sound of the beat dealers.
Red Bank, New Jersey. It's a lot of history in this small town. Let's get into this shit. We all family in this. History shows we've been here before. Anyone else touch the shore, let me adjust the score, make things right. This land of ours is our birthright. I shed light where the sun don't shine, give sight to the blind, help them see and find they bloodlines divine. You remember the time our ancestors were in line with space and time. Agriculture's our culture, be one with nature. Take a look in the mirror and see the creator. We come from the maker, so be the owner, soul controller. The lies they told us can't hold us. A scholar and a soldier is what you are. Shoot for the stars, got proof this is ours. The truth is in the scars, the world is yours. The world is yours. My family, my tribe, we rocks, we survive. We still here, won't die. We alive, head up high, put your wings up and fly. Head up high, put your wings up and fly. My family's my tribe, we rocks, we survive. We still here, won't die. We alive, head up high, put your wings up and fly. Head up high, put your wings up and fly. We still here, not going nowhere. Stand on our square, our family's a circle. Raised by the river, the tribe is turtle. The fire's eternal, burn forever. As we learn, we get better. Let's get it together, can't live without each other. I got your back, I know you got mine. No time for slack, get in line, that's a fact. If they try to attack, we counter-react. Make a pact with progress, build our nation up. It's part of the process. It starts with the conscience to overcome hatred. Know your origin and how your ancestors made it. My family, my tribe, we rocks, we survive. We still here, won't die. We alive, head up high, put your wings up and fly. Head up high, put your wings up and fly. My family's my tribe, we rocks, we survive. We still here, won't die. We alive, head up high, put your wings up and fly. Head up high, put your wings up and fly.